Hey there, I'm Dan Martell, technology entrepreneur, investor, and creator of SaaS Academy. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to set up your email campaign to close more customers in your free trials. And be sure to stay to the end where I share with you an exclusive download called the Trial Converter Campaign, which is essentially a workflow for how to think through the different emails I'm going to go over today and sequence them. So maybe you've got a ton of traffic, but you're not converting enough into your free trials and it's really getting to you. Or you've got a bunch of people that are trialing and they're not converting into customers. What I'm going to share with you is how to structure an email campaign, the information that should go in those emails so that you can get 10 to 25% of those trials converting. And I know if you're at like 2%, you're like, okay, Dan, that sounds a little crazy. Bear with me, I'm going to walk you through this. I've been doing this now for a very long time, building software companies for over 20 years. I started when I was 17, and I've figured out there's a process for understanding how to get in the mind of the customer. I did that with Flowtown.com, which got acquired, Clarity, same deal, and I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs at this point in improving their trials, and I want to walk you through the step-by-step process that I use to make that happen. Step one, welcome email. So this is the first email that a new sign-up gets when they're in the trial. And to me, this is all about showing them what you got. Think about the watch, the trench coat guy with his watches, and he's like, what do you want? What do you got? That is kind of how you want to think about that email. You just want to let people know and get them oriented and situated. Be like, here's where you go for support. Here's where you go for training. Here's what if you get stuck, let us know. You can always reply to this email. I would actually highly encourage that in your welcome emails to ask them. Just let us know what you're hoping to accomplish with our technology or our product, and just make it all about just getting them situated and what's available for them to move forward. Number two, training. Ideally, I'm hoping that you've got some level of training, not inside your product. Look, if you drop somebody on a blank slate and then play a video and consider that onboarding, shame on you. So that's just right out of the gate. That video, though, is probably a good training video. So I think what's really important is understand what's the success gap within your product. Where is the customer coming in? What do they want to accomplish? And what's the ideal set of videos that they would need to consume to really understand how to get the most out of your product? And you want to link those in the email. So training is an important piece of information that you want to communicate, especially to new trials, so that they actually get activated and use the product. 3, case study. Now, the fun part about this is you probably have a customer that's totally crushing it using your product somewheres, and maybe you have one in different industries and verticals. What you want to do is you want to extract that case study and talk about that result with your new sign-up trials and just paint a picture of euphoria in the future of what's possible. If they got all your technology deployed, what could their world possibly look like? That's the goal of a case study. It's about saying, hey, I know how you feel. I know where you've been. You're probably feeling these frustrations. One of our customers, X, had the same challenges. Here's how they implemented our product to get these results, and be specific about the numbers, because the more specific you are, the more exciting and engaged the trial user is going to be to want to get those same results and deploy your technology to get that. 4, tips and tricks. Now, you've been using your product forever and you take a lot of the settings and features for granted. Maybe you just kind of assume everybody knows about it. One of my favorite things to do, especially when I get in front of this camera, is remind myself that I'm probably talking to somebody that's never met me before, has maybe it's their first time doing this thing, building a product, free trial, demo, email sequences, whatever it is. And I got to talk to them from that point of view. So the tips and tricks are unique and nuanced things that customers are doing. Maybe it's about adding their link in a certain workflow in their business, or maybe it's a specific report and how a company's using that to get a result in their business. It's the things, it's the customizations, it's the personalization. What are some tips and tricks, 3 or 4 things that you would suggest your customers to do to get some extra value that they otherwise wouldn't know? It's not the obvious flow of value that they're coming in for your product, and just things that make them think oh, that's really cool. I didn't know you could do that with our product or with this product. That's what I would do in the tips and tricks email. 5, offer to help. If you're monitoring and you have what's called the member at risk monitoring set up in your free trials, then you should be paying attention to who's active in going through the free trial and who's at risk. And if somebody's at risk, you want to send an email and just offer to help somebody from your customer success team to just say like, hey, I noticed you signed up a couple days ago. You haven't invited anybody to collaborate with you on this, or you haven't created a report, or you haven't sent out your first campaign, whatever it is in your product. And just say, hey, do you want to get on a quick 15-minute demo? And I'll actually use your account and we'll get it set up and configured. Here's a link to my calendar. Feel free to schedule with me. Now you can automate this whole process, which is awesome, and really just make yourself available only to those that need you most, the ones that aren't moving along as you expect them. So offering to help to me is a no-brainer. You should be doing this. You can afford to do this. And it just is the right thing to do in business. If somebody's stuck, show up and say, hey, let's get this unstuck. Let's move you forward. 6, make an offer. Now, at the end of your trial, maybe it's a 7-day trial, 3-day trial. I've seen those, pretty aggressive, but I love it. 14-day trial, etc. You want to use a little bit of salesmanship. You want to think about the context. The person's used the free trial. They're at a certain stage of usage. What could I put in the email to get them excited about moving forward, about adding their credit card if they haven't yet, about sticking around and making sure that the next billing cycle goes through? And it's, to me, one of the easiest things is to make an offer, to tell them, hey, you've done X in our product. Maybe it's like you've created 3 projects, you've sent 2 campaigns or 400 emails or whatever it is, and we want to honor that activity and action. And if you make a decision to move forward today, here's the opportunity. If you want to do an annual contract, we're going to do it for 9 months. Like the cost of 9 months versus 10 months, which is traditional, probably 20% off. Make them an offer. Get them excited to click the button and like it, and also let them know what they're missing out on. I think it's important, in any sales conversation, you want to talk about what's possible and what's awesome, and you also want to say, like, here's what's going to not change if you don't move forward, and just let them know that. And say, now's the time, let's get you set up, click the link, update your credit card info, and somebody from our team will be reaching out to walk you through how you can get even more out of our product. Whatever you want to do, I just think it's super important to craft an offer email at the end of the trial, not your trial ends in 24 hours and at that point all your data is going to be deleted. That's amateur hour at its best. Think about this. If the way I think about email at a high level is, what would I say to somebody in person if I had the chance? Email and automation is just a way for me to do that at scale. 7, celebrate or learn. Now, if they decide to continue with you, put their credit card on file, upgrade to a different plan, etc., you want to celebrate them, congratulate them. Amazing decision. So good to have you. Excited for you to be part of the community. So that's on one end. That is what we all hope everybody goes to. But if they don't move forward, then I want you to send an email and ask them why. Because to me, this is the point that you get to learn, right? You either win or you learn. That's kind of one of my life mottos. And at that point specifically, sending them an email and just say, hey, John, I noticed you didn't move forward with our product. I'm just curious, what was missing for you to make that decision? And just sit back. And if that's an automated email and you're doing 100 trials a week, you're going to learn so much. Maybe there was some confusion. Maybe there was an issue around pricing. Maybe there's an issue around the packages or whatever it is. And that's something you can fix. If you don't ask, you never know, and you don't have the opportunity to make it right. So to me, you celebrate if they buy, or you learn if they don't. So quick recap. Number 1, send a welcome email. Let them know what you got. 2, training. 3, case study. 4, tips and tricks. 5, offer to help if they're stuck. 6, make an offer. 7, celebrate or learn. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I want to share a resource called the Trial Converter Campaign. Now, it's a workflow structure that I've designed for people that are coming into your product and are new, and what you need to do to activate them, and also really have a clear understanding of how to monitor if they're in a normal progression or if they're at risk, and the different flows of emails and information you need to be sending so that you can finally get them over. So think about all the emails I sent up in the Trial Converter Campaign worksheet. It's going to put that into a flow for you to understand and install automation into your business. It's going to absolutely crush it for you. So click the link below to download that worksheet. If you like this video, be sure to click the like button. If you know somebody that this could serve, please share it with them, and be sure to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Woo! Danisms. Danisms. Danisms.